Okay, I reckon that looks like a premiership. Oh, hey, hi, Coach Henry. If you're listening, if you're watching, I have some ideas. They may not be good ideas, but I've got some ideas. Howdy, welcome back to Wobble Enjoy Sports. If you're new around here, hope I can get you to consider to like the content and subscribe to the channel. But if you are a regular around these here parts, thank you very much for the continuous support. The NRLW season kicks off this weekend. I haven't spoken about it at all, and I am frothing a little bit to talk about the North Queensland Cowboys' chances in 2025. Now, coming into season 2025, the North Queensland Cowboys, this will be their third season. They improved in 2024 based off of their debut year in 2023. They got some home wins up in Townsville, and there's still a little bit of fog about where they're going to be based in the next couple of years, but that's for a later discussion. For season 2025, unfortunately, the bookies have got the North Queensland Cowboys finishing outside of the new top 6 finals system. They've got the North Queensland Cowboys to win the premiership, $21. Do you know how juicy that is to me, who is a completely biased North Queensland Cowboys fan? That is a sensational price for the eventual 2025 premiers. And for the wooden spoon, there is no chance that they are winning that friggin' spoon this season. Looking at their squad, I am extremely excited about the prospects of the North Queensland Cowboys. I think their depth is the best that it's been in their 3-year existence. I think the talent that is there to be utilised is the best. I think this is the best squad the Cowboys have had in their 3 years in the NRLW. So what does their draw look like? Well, let's have a quick look at their draw. So their first 2 games of 2025 are both based in Townsville, which is very different to their other years. They're taking on the Gold Coast Titans on Saturday this weekend. Unfortunately, I can't watch it live because I'm going to be at work, bugger ya, but the Cowboys are taking on the Titans this Saturday. 1 week later, they host the Newcastle Knights, still in that Saturday time slot. Their first away game for 2025 is against Cronulla in the same time slot. So the Cowboys are the Super Saturday team to start off the first month, because they're then back home to take on the Canberra Raiders in round number 4. So their first month of footy, they have 3 home games, and with just that one trip down to Sydney as well. So that is an enormous opportunity there to lay a sensational platform for the North Queensland Cowboys in round number 5, arguably the most anticipated fixture, or round I should say, in NRLW history. It is the first ever NRLW Magic Round emanating from McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle, and the Cowboys will be playing their first fair dinkum day game, 11:50 a.m. against the New Zealand Warriors. One of the 2 new kids on the block, the Warriors down there in Newcastle on a Sunday afternoon. They're still on the road in round number 6. They take on the Parramatta Eels at CommBank Stadium, and this is the second of some new surroundings for the Cowboys. They're venturing to new venues in 2025, places they've never played before. So they're taking on the Parramatta Eels at CommBank for Sunday twilight footy. That is 6:15. Then their third Sunday game in a row, they take on the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, the second new kid on the block. That is on a Sunday in round 7. They then travel back down to Sydney, so it's a little bit like that over the month or so from round 5 through to about round number 8. Round number 8, they play at Leichhardt Oval, so that's going to be a pretty special occasion for the Cowboys at a historical venue like Leichhardt Oval. That kicks off at 6:15 after the men's Tigers-Cowboys game. Round number 9, they host the Sydney Roosters, the champions, up there QCB Stadium. That is going to be a Saturday twilight fixture. Round number 10, they're down all the way in Wollongong at Wynn Stadium. They take on the Dragons down there. That's their first trip down to the Gong in Cowboys NRLW history. That is going to be a 12:45 kickoff on a Saturday. And then their final game, round 11, an extended draw for the NRLW this year due to the Warriors and Bulldogs being injected into the competition. Round number 11, the final game of the regular season for the Cowboys and Broncos. It's a Saturday midday kickoff. Broncos versus Cowboys down here at Totally Workwear Stadium. And besides the trial that happened a couple of weeks ago, that's my only opportunity to see the Cowboys in action live during the season. What do I think about that draw? I think that first month is critical, that at least North Queensland get 2 victories inside of that first month. I think that is the key to making the top 6 this season. But then again, you've got to navigate all that travel that happens in the back half of their year as well, with trips to Combank, Leichhardt, Wollongong, and then a trip down to Totally Workwear Stadium. And one of their home games is that Magic Round game against the New Zealand Warriors. Without further ado, let's talk about their depth. Let's talk about it. So I've made up my best possible 1 to 17 or 1 to 18 for 2025. And Coach Ricky Henry, this is his second year in charge, and he has got a very nice headache, in my opinion anyway. There are players that could play in one position or the other. He could flip and change at a moment's notice. And I think a lot of it, of course it does, it always does, but I think a lot of our chances this season does hinge upon Coach Ricky Henry's shoulders and trying to be as consistent and balanced as humanly possible, because there is so much talent that is so versatile up there in the Cowboys right now that the 1 to 17 could look completely different every single week, but they're still the same players, just playing in different positions. And then that doesn't offer any consistency. So Coach Ricky Henry, he's got some beautiful headaches lying in wait over the next couple of weeks. But this is my personal best game day squad. At fullback, who has re-signed for the next 3 seasons, is Francesca Goldthorpe, the English international. She has been hampered by injuries over the past couple of years, but it's undeniable how much tenacity that she has at fullback. Hopefully that there's been more of a passing game that's been developed in 2025, but I do think that Goldthorpe moving forward is the best option at fullback. My wingers, and this is the beginning of something contentious if it hasn't already happened yet, is I think Crystal Blackwell and Jakaya Whitfeld are our best winger options. Crystal Blackwell can fit in at 5'8". She can fit in at centre, fullback. I just think based off of last year's form, she just has to be in this side. Jakaya Whitfeld, she is a hell of a player. Obviously, she's a Jillaroo and she is so versatile. Last year, she played centre for the Cowboys. She played fullback in the trial, and she's actually also listed as a fullback. I don't think she will play fullback if we would play on grand final day. I think that still goes to Goldthorpe, but I think we will see Jakaya Whitfield play a little bit of fullback in season 2025. But because of the off-season purchases the Cowboys have made, I know she played really well in the centres in 2024, but I just think that to make the Cowboys team overall stronger, I think the best option is to put her onto the sting, and she still can crush it. And I think if she is put onto the wing, and that's how I would do it, I think if she does want that ball, I think that she, once again, deserves a command override call for sure. If she wants that ball, get that freaking ball out to Jakaya Whitfield in 2025. Now, the centres, my centres, Jasmine Peters, who made her Queensland Origin debut this season, and the other centre is Premiership winner Abigail Roach, Kiwi international, has obviously been coached by Ricky Henry, who is also the Kiwi Ferns coach, at least right now to my knowledge, is the Kiwi Ferns coach. So Abigail Roach and Ricky Henry, they've already got some sort of relationship there. Abigail Roach is a 2-time I think is a two-time winner of the NRLW Premiership with the Newcastle Knights. She has toe, but it is her defence that I do like, but she definitely has some speed to burn as well. So my centre pairing is Abigail Roach and Jasmine Peters. The halves pairing, I have to be honest, I think that this might be the most critical part of the 1 to 17. Of course, it's the halves, right? So Kira Dibb is the automatic lock, but this is where Coach Ricky Henry and the other selections, the other players here really need to come together and be as one as much as possible. So we've got options with Rosie Kelly, who has come from the Parramatta Eels. Tallulah Tillett has been a part of the framework as well for 3 or 4 seasons now, even before, the Cowboys were injected into NRLW competition. I think Tallulah Tillett needs to have a big year. It's not saying that she's been bad or anything over the past couple of seasons. I just think that what she did for the Mackay Cutters in 2024 to win that BMD premiership, really need to see more of that form in 2025. I think Tillett and Dibb is how I would start. Rosie Kelly seems to be really nipping at the heels to be playing 5/8 at the very least in 2025. Now, the forward pack, I think this is our strength. Now, while I do think we've got depth for days, bro, in the back line, I do think our forward pack is monstrous, and I think it is they are criminally underrated in 2025 based off of the odds that I said out loud before. So how I would start, Talisha Harden, I would have her start alongside Mackenzie Wheel and my favourite player, Emma Manselman, in at hooker. Mackenzie Wheel for the Maroons, and even in that trial game against the Gold Coast Titans in a losing side, was ferocious. And then the back row, so round 1 is going to look very different to what it will look like potentially look like in round number 11 for the Cowboys. So at the moment, Tiana Raffstrand-Smith is suspended and will probably miss round 1. Possibly round 2 is when she comes back. So Tiana Raffstrand-Smith will be out, but I think that she is the best option for us in the second row. I have gone through the passages of time since the Cowboys started in 2023, and Tiana Raffstrand-Smith for the Cowboys and the Mackay Cutters over the past 2 years or so has been destructive. She is a sensational player, and I cannot wait to see her come back in 2025. I think she is going to be absolutely incredible. Now, the other second row option, so China Palata, she did her ACL, I think it was against the Brisbane Broncos, I reckon. I think she's on the verge of coming back, so I don't think she'll play in round 1. I think she'll have a couple of BMD games, but hopefully halfway through this season is when she will make her return. So I would have China Palata and Tiana Raffstrand-Smith on grand final day at their best, but I don't think that's how it's going to be. It can't be, actually, in round number 1. How that's going to be, well, this isn't a predicted video. The team list is dropping tomorrow, and I'm friggin' ever so excited for it as well. But at the moment, my starting second row is Tiana Raffstrand-Smith and China Palata, and I'll get into the other options in the interchange just shortly. But before we get to the interchange, we've got to talk about the lock situation. So the Cowboys have signed Nevada George from the West Tigers. She is a supreme talent for a lock forward to have that sort of ball skills. I think is fantastic. I think she is a weapon. And it's a real coup for the Cowboys to get Miss Nevada George up to Townsville. However, Miss Bree Chester broke out hardcore in 2024. The improvement by her from 2023 to the back end of 2024 was out of this world. I think she was a little bit unlucky not to be named in the New South Wales Sky Blues team. I think she would fit in seamlessly next year's series. So hopefully she can get a Sky Blues jersey next year by kicking ass for the second year in a row in 2025. I think she was absolutely awesome in 2024, and I expect nothing less in 2025. So my interchange bench now, I think we're going to have Alicia Ford in jersey number 14. I know Rosie Kelly is standing on the side saying, what the hell are you doing? But Alicia Ford last year was arguably the reason how the Mackay cut has accelerated to that BMD Premiership. And she is unsigned from beyond 2025. So she is playing for a contract. So I think Alicia Ford starts, and I think she also complements Emma Manzelman, and Emma Manzelman complements Alicia Ford as well. So I'd have Emma Manzelman and Alicia Ford as our two hooker options, with Ford starting off the bench in jersey 14. Jersey number 15, S.A. Banu. I think she's in for a huge season. And then Lily Peacock, jersey 16. Some would say that she should start instead of Talisha Harden, and that did happen throughout stages of 2024. But just at this point in time, I would say that Harden starts and then Peacock comes on and lifts the intensity. So that's how I would do it. Lily Peacock in jersey 16, and then Nevada George. Nevada George, you have to have. You don't bring her up. And I know Rosa Kelly again is saying, well, what the hell am I doing? But I would have Nevada George in jersey number 17 coming off the bench. And that does look like a three prop rotation, but Lily Peacock can fit into the second row, and Nevada George could probably come on and push Bree Chester out to the second row throughout some stages in 2025. There's a lot of versatility for sure. As 18th player, I'd have Miss Rosie Kelly in jersey 18. She is going to be a Swiss Army knife in 2025. She's going to be wing, 5'8", centre. That's where she played last year for the Parramatta Eels, but she is really putting her foot down, and she did start the trial in at 5'8", so that's what I'm saying. Rosie Kelly is nipping at the heels of Tallulah Tillett, so Tallulah Tillett really needs to keep her her game up here somewhere. So I'd have Rosie Kelly as 18th player. Lily Dick, we have signed from Australian Rugby Sevens, and she's not played a hell of a lot or almost any rugby league at all, so that's why I don't have her in the 1 to 17, but I saw her get amongst it in that trial game a couple of weeks ago down at Tweed Heads, and she definitely had some no bullshit charges, that's for sure. And she is a second row option that will probably make her debut in round number 1. So that's a little bit of a prediction from me. I do think Lily Dick will probably find her way in the 1 to 17, maybe not starting second row, but I think she'll make her debut in round 1 just due to the injuries and suspensions the Cowboys have got to start 2025. And then the other one, and this is the one that really pained me to leave out of the 1 to 17, but Lillian Yarrow. Now, Lillian Yarrow is, I don't believe, signed on beyond this season. That has to be rectified. That has to be rectified. She is a tank. And she's got some speed. When she gets into the clear, she's got some pace on her too. So Lillian Yarrow is a workhorse. She's probably going to kick some, she will kick some serious ass in the BMD Premiership this season. So unfortunately, I've got to leave Lillian Yarrow out of the best game day squad, 1 to 17 at this stage of the game. But having seen all the players that I've just popped up and talking about the depth that we have, for the bookies to have the Cowboys missing the top 6 or having them in the bottom 4 in the wooden spoon, if this Cowboys team clicks, if the defense improves in 2025, this team is going to challenge. They are a dark horse in my opinion. I know I'm speaking through really biased glasses right now, I know, but this team, they can do it. They can 100% do it. They just need to improve defensively and hope that they can have a consistent season as far as Team List Tuesday goes. So yeah, we've had some injuries and all teams have injuries, but we've just had some really critical injuries at some key points throughout our first 2 years that have really slowed whatever momentum that we had created for ourselves. And I think in 2025, if we get some luck, some rub of the green in that department, stay disciplined, don't get suspended, man, I think this Cowboys team can play finals for the first time in their history because, again, it's a top 6 system now due to the inclusion of the Bulldogs and the Warriors. So far as development players, we've got Jennifer Kimber, who's been signed up on a development contract. She played in the under-19s and scored a try for Queensland in that game a couple of weeks ago. We've got Caitlin Tanner, who I have been keeping an eye on for the better part of 2 years now, and she's a player. She's definitely a player to watch and watch grow. I think she's going to be pretty bloody good over the next couple of years. We've also got Emily Bella that's floating around, and I've been talking about Emily Bella for 2 or 3 seasons as well. And Emily Bella is having a great year so far. It's only just kicked off, but I think Emily Bella in 2 of the 3 games has been top 3 on ground for the Cutters inside the first 3 weeks of the season. So go Emily Bella. And then we've got some players like Taylor Curtis that we've signed from the St. George Illawarra Dragons. And we've got a player that looms large in the shape of Tafa'o Asua. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Tafa'o Asua. Man, she is a forward that has come out of nowhere over the off-season. For me personally, I haven't seen any of her up until the trial the other week, and boy, howdy. And to be fair to the rest of the players here, I will name. So we've got Anima Lupo, who is a fullback option as well, so she will probably rear her head sometime in 2025. Autumn Rain Stevens-Daly as well, Kiwi international. She is coming off of an ACL injury, and she's someone that could play wing or centre instead of Crystal Blackwell potentially. So that is one to watch as well. Hopefully she can return and play some footy. So those are the names. They are the players that are representing the North Queensland Cowboys in season 2025 in the NRLW. Terribly excited. Go the North Queensland Cowboys. I do think that they can make the top 6 this season under coach Ricky Henry. Let's go North Queensland Cowboys. Thank you very much for your continuous support, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Take care. Adios. Go the Cowboys.